I'm Randy. I'm an alcoholic.
I'm Randy.
And it's Saturday. Love Saturdays. So this meeting is about creating an environment or an atmosphere or a place where I might connect more deeply with my higher power right now. It's not here to learn, although there's learning that happens, and it's not here to read, although reading happens, and it's not here to pray, even though praying happens and meditation happens. But really the purpose of this meeting is to have a space where I can go every week and I can be reminded that this is the only moment that matters, this one right now, and that this is the only moment that I could have a relationship with a higher power. This one right now, not the next one, because you're going to hear something now that's going to help you in the next moment, but this one right now, right now, right now. So as an exercise in that, I would encourage you right now to stop looking at me from inside your eyes and pull the camera back and see yourself in the picture, in the room right now. Just see yourself and see who you're being right now in your seat, in your experience. Are you judging? Are you listening? Are you talking to yourself about something? Who am I being right now? Because when I look out from myself, then you're all separate from me. But for me, if I could pull the camera back and see, oh, I'm just another guy in the room. I'm just a person in the room. And I've got a story just like you do. And my ego's talking to me just like yours is. And mine's telling me my story's so important. Look at me, look at me, look at me. My story's telling me how sad my life is. Oh, if you had my life, you'd be so sad. There's always a story going about me that's separate from you. But right now, we're all in this room. We're all in this room. And there's no difference. Except for that my story tells me that there is. That's it. If I could pull back the camera and see, oh, I'm a guy sitting in a room. That's all. I'm one of the guys sitting in the room. I get to be here right now. Could you help me see who I am? So that I'm not being self, I'm being with my higher power, looking at self, watching self do its little dance that it does in this earth and this earth experience. There's Randy. He's the leader now. Oh, isn't he a great leader? It's ridiculous, right? And or oh, there's Jay. He's putting his glasses on. He's a great glass putter on her. And then all of a sudden, this moment is just another moment. It's just another beautiful moment where I get to be part of. I'm part of this experience. I'm not different. I'm not better. I'm not less. I'm just here. I'm just one of the guys in the room. If I don't have experiences, then there's nothing new. This is new. No old ideas. Right here, right now. Just a guy in a room with a higher power that's helping me see who I am so that I don't have to take myself too seriously. I'm speaking at a meeting tonight in Santa Clarita, and it's a fundraising dinner for their Santa Clarita convention that's happening later in the year. And I'm going to speak for 45 minutes, and I promise you I have not practiced, or my mind keeps wanting to talk to me about what I'm going to say because it keeps telling me that you're not going to have anything to say and you're going to be stupid and people are going to laugh at you. And it's crazy. I know how to talk. I'm sure I could speak for 45 minutes, but I don't want to look stupid. And so I'm going to be a guy standing at a podium trying to carry the message when I get there, but I'm not there. And I don't have to have that talk now. I get to have it when I get there. I get to have this talk now. I get to be here now. Because this is the best moment there ever was. And there is a very real possibility that I will not make it there tonight. I could get a flat tire. There could be an earthquake. I mean, there's a gazillion, right? A million things that could go sideways between now and 6 o'clock tonight. So anytime that I spend worrying about what I'm going to say is just complete waste of time. That would be me pulling back, watching Randy, wasting these moments thinking about something that might happen later. It's wild. So are we starting step 2 today?
We just finished reading the
step 1
on 12 and 12.
Yeah, and we already read 60 to 63 out of the big book.
Yeah.
And so step 2 for me, step 2 starts at right after the sentence where it says in the big book, it says, I have to have God's help, or it says we have to have God's help, and it was just read. I think that's the end of step 1, right? When I get to the place where I see that my moral convictions and my philosophical and moral convictions get me nowhere on my own power, that I can't live up to them, and I stand at the place where I see that I have to have God's help, that's the end of step 1. But that's for right now. That wasn't for when I saw that I needed God's help yesterday. I need God's help right now, just as much right now as I ever, ever, ever did. I have to have God's help. That's a way of life for an alcoholic like me. I have to have God's help. And if I'm not standing at that place, there is no step 2. Because if I don't have to have God's help, then I'm going to be helping myself, which means I'm running the show, which means there is no step 1. So why talk about 2? What most people do is they stand at a place where they know that they have to have God's help, but they want God to help them get what they want. So then I go to step 2, not to be restored to sanity. I go to step 2 to get God, to restore God to sanity, so that he'll get his act together and get me all the things that I want. So step 2 without step 1 is me trying to figure out how to get straightened God out. I'm going to restore God to sanity, because obviously he's lost his mind. He doesn't see how necessary it was for me to have a Porsche Macan today. He needs to be talked to. So I'm going to pray to him. God, could you please, line up the stars and everything so that I can afford to put, $87,000 on a car that I don't really need, but I want it, and it would make me feel better about myself. So if you could find a way to restore yourself to sanity. I know you have all that there is, so why don't you just give me it all, and then I could do with it as I please. And that would be a step 2 prayer, me restoring God to sanity. So normally I like to read the steps out of the big book first, and then the 12 and 12. And the step 2 is hidden kind of in we agnostics. And I say it's hidden in we agnostics because we agnostics is all about why I don't want to have a relationship with God. And it's all about the prejudices that I have. But it really shows me what stands between me and God, and it's just my story. It's my old ideas about what God is and how God works, and how God has forsaken me, all of the things that I needed to be okay, and for some reason he's punishing me or treating me different than everybody else. And so step 2 shows me that, allows me to see that I am filled with prejudice. And that, so if you don't mind, we'll read We Agnostics. Maybe we'll read a couple paragraphs at a time, because we could spend like a month or maybe 6 weeks in We Agnostics. And We Agnostics never really tells me how to come to believe. It just tells me that I need to. All right. So let's do the big book.